Greetings and welcome back to the F1 paddock, and welcome back to more F1 25 single player career mode. And today we are getting ready for round 5. It is the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and we are sitting here in the motorhome in the paddock in Jeddah. And practice has been done, as you can see on the screen in front of us. And we are just about ready to get into qualifying for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We're bringing one update to this race, as far as I remember. Let's have a look really quickly. There you can see we have jumped ahead of both Williams and VCarb at the moment, and we are close to overtaking Aston Martin. So hopefully within the upcoming races we can maybe start challenging for the top of the midfield, and that would be very, very nice indeed in terms of development. This should definitely give us a little bit of a boost, especially for Ollie, who's not had the best of starts to his season. On the other hand, we have had a perfect start, 22 points from the first 4 races. And at the moment that means that Haas is sitting 5th in the Constructors' Championship, just behind Red Bull. Or just, we are quite a distance away. So there's still plenty of points to be caught up before we are even considering being part of the front fight. But yeah, I don't think there's much more to say. We are, as I said before, getting ready to head into qualifying for round 5 here. I'm not looking much forward to it, I do have to admit. This track is not my favorite in particular, but hopefully it's going to be good.
Welcome to Jeddah Corniche, one of the fastest circuits on the calendar, but let's see who will be the fastest of them all. It's time to set the grid for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Yes, it's time for qualifying.
And here we go. One crucial detail that I did forget to mention as we give our engineers a pat on the back. We've raised the difficulty of the AI. So we started the season with 107% AI. I've raised it by 1% just to see if that is going to make things a little bit more difficult, because I do have to admit the first couple of races, they weren't too difficult, despite things not always going our way. So I've raised the difficulty 1%, so it's 108 at the moment. So let's see how that goes. But yeah, our teammate out on the track as the first driver, and look at that, we're still carrying the Sakura livery from Japan. Hopefully for this round it's gonna bring us good luck. And obviously next round, round 6, it's going to be in Miami, and we're bringing a new livery to that one. But plenty of activity. I think let's be a part of it and try and see what we can do. Tire wear is quite high here in Jeddah, so I am expecting a 2-stop in the race at least. But let's await and see. First, we have to get done with qualifying before we hopes up for anything. And yeah, Jeddah, not my favorite circuit at all. It is a circuit that is, I mean, once you hook up a lap, it is very satisfying, I do have to admit. But it is just that you have to hook up the lap, and that is usually quite difficult. But we're going to do our very best here. We have several tries, obviously, and it's going to be interesting to see where we slot in. I do have maybe a slight feeling that this could be the first race where we see Ollie out-qualify us. But that remains to be seen, obviously. We still have plenty of qualifying to get done before that. So let's see. But yeah, it is exciting to see what it's going to be like. So let's come around the final corner here to begin our first flying lap. And then we'll see where we slot in. It's a very fast track, as the commentator said at the intro there. And we do have a little bit of traffic coming out of the pits. It's not too bad. We managed to avoid the Sauber. Didn't quite see who it was. But let's see if we can hook up a good lap here in Q1. Oh, a little bit deep there. Oh, we almost lose the car there. Lose too much time to get a track extension warning. So that's nice. Of the FIA. Albon currently with the fastest lap. Oh, a little bit over the curbs there. Norris improves the provisional pole time. And now we're just flying through the corners here. It's a fast chicane. Almost losing it there, unfortunately. It's not the cleanest lap, but it's better than what it was in practice, I can tell you that much. And into the final corner as Max Verstappen improves the fastest lap here in Q1. Where are we going to slot in? Heading to the line, P4. Not too bad. We are ahead out of our teammate, at least. So that is something. Oh, let's actually look where we're going.
Then come into the pits at the end of this lap.
I was changing a few settings on the steering wheel and wasn't quite looking where I was going. But I think that's a decent first attempt. Oh, as we've run very wide there, and we have to get out of the way of the kick Sauber here. As to not hold them up. And that is
okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now.
Yeah, at the moment behind Albon, so wonder what is going to happen here. We're definitely going to see some drivers improve their lap times. Over, ooh, as we hit the wall there. We have to get out of the way of the Aston here. Stroll ahead of us, and here comes one of the Alpine drivers. That is Gasly, and one of the Ferrari drivers. Now I think we are clear from behind. Hopefully. Oh, as Leclerc has made a mistake there on his flying lap. But yeah, as I said, I've increased the difficulty this time around, so 108%. It's only 2% off the highest difficulty that you can run on this game. So it will be interesting to see how that changes. And unlike the first 100%, once you get above the 100% AI difficulty, it doesn't increase linearly anymore. It's exponentially. So yeah, it's not technically 1% increase. It's more close to, I think I've read somewhere that it's closer to a 5% increase each time you increase. So interesting to say the least. But as of right now, we are currently still sitting in P4, which is well good to get through to Q2. And we did pick up some damage, as I suspected. That is quite normal. Let's have a look and see.
Car repairs have set us back a little.
Whether or not anyone is going to improve. We're currently in P9. Where is Ollie? He's in P16, so he is on the absolute brink of being knocked out here in Q1. Is there any activity? There's currently no activity out on track. I don't think we are at any danger of getting knocked out here in Q1, so I'm going to leave it at this. Ollie improves to P15. That's quite nice. That's very nice. Oh, I don't think he made it through. But let's see. So we are in P9. The order is a bit mixed up here. Verstappen on with the fastest lap. Tsunoda doing really well in P5. Albon ahead of one of the Ferrari. Not just one, both Ferraris. So that is surprising. And yeah, oh, Ollie, come on, man. So Behrman once again together with Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Gasly and Colapinto not making it through. And that is so unfortunate, because the car should be good enough at the moment to get through to at least Q2. Which we did see in Japan, to be fair. Or was it? No, it wasn't Japan, was it? I'm not quite sure, actually. No, it was Bahrain. Of course it was. Alright. But time for Q2. And I have a slight suspicion that we might have to fight for this one a little bit more. But there is definitely improvements to be found on the lap. Sector 1 especially was not that clean from us in Q1. So I think there might be like 3 or 4 tenths to at least find in Sector 1. But we are amongst the first out on track. Only beaten out by Bortoletto ahead of us. And the walls are so close here and the speed is so high that even if you just graze the wall, you do run the risk of knocking off your front wing. And this part especially was not too tidy from us, so I do think we can find some improvements here. Definitely do think so. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. And obviously also something we haven't talked about just yet, because it really hasn't been a topic that was necessary to be spoken about, but obviously component wear on our engine parts. They are obviously also getting used, being used every session. And at some point we're going to have to start looking at new components for the engine. So that will be interesting as well whenever that happens. But we are ready to begin our attempt here in Q2. I don't know whether we are too close to Bortoletto here. But we're going to give it a go, see what happens. Heading into turn 1. Let's see what we can do. Very tidy through turn 1. We might be a little bit too close to Bortoletto here. But let's give it a try. Oh, that was tidy. Oh, I didn't quite get the turn in for the second part, but it's okay. It was much more tidy than Q1. And yeah, we're going to be very close to Bortoletto here. That also means we're going to get a nice little slipstream from the Brazilian. There's not too many corners here, which is super, super nice. It's just a chicane. We're going to have to navigate here behind him. Oh, we lost a little bit of time there. But we're going to gain it all back here with a fat, juicy slipstream. And heading into the final corner, we're going to have to be a little bit earlier on the brakes, as to not run into the back of the kick salver. But here we go. Towards the line, we're going to get another slipstream. And we're up into P3 on our first attempt here. We're going to let some drivers past here. But yeah, that was quite nice. Oh, and has there been a crash between Stroll and Lawson here? I do wonder.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
We are ahead of Albon this time around. Ahead of Tsunoda as well. So I think that slipstream we got from Gabriel Bortoleto would have helped us out more than it hindered us on our lap. Stroll is ahead of us though, so that is quite surprising from the Canadian. To be fair, he also might have gotten a slipstream from us. So there was a nice little slipstream train going on there. But yeah, much tidier lap this time around. That is for sure. I don't actually think, unless we are lucky with another slipstream, I don't think that is able to be improved upon.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
So that might be our attempt here in Q2. Russell goes ahead, so we drop to P7. That is as expected, to be fair. But at the moment it's looking okay. It's looking fine. And into the pits we go. But we do have to be prepared though, as Antonelli also goes ahead of us, as expected. I'm still surprised that Sonoda is behind us. That is definitely a surprise. But so far so good with this qualifying session. We might be on the absolute brink once Q2 comes to an end. But let's see who is still yet to post a lap time. Oh, Hamilton and Alonso both yet to post a lap time, so I'm expecting actually both of them to be ahead of us. Let's give it a watch. Let's see. Yep, as predicted. We're not that far behind Stroll, to be fair, so we could maybe improve enough to go ahead of the Canadian. We're just going to prepare ourselves here with just about 4 minutes to go. Is there any activity? No, there isn't. That means we're going to go
Everyone
out.
Ready? Okay, let's go.
And just be prepared. We just need to be prepared to potentially improve if necessary. We're going to see if we can improve our lap time regardless, because it's going to help us anyway. And at the moment, as I said, we are relatively close to the lap time that Stroll has posted. It's only a couple of thousandths of a second that we need to find to move ahead of the Aston Martin. So we're going to see if we can find that improvement. Sector 1 is still the place where I think most of the improvement has to be found. But let's see. I mean, we might be surprised at how much we got held up by Gabriel Bortoleto through the final couple of corners. But let's see what happens. We're definitely going to give it our all here. And let's see what we can do. I'm going to give it another go here in Q2. See what kind of lap time we can find. Heading into turn 1 here. Small improvement. Teeny tiny improvement so far. Oh, that was quite good. Yeah, we have already found just about 3/10. Now we need to keep it pinned throughout the rest of the lap. Very tidy so far. And this is where we, because of the slipstream or lack thereof, we touched the wall there. That's not benefiting anyone. Let's see here. We're going to lose a lot of time here because we don't have the slipstream of Gabriel Bortoletto. But that was quite tidy. We gain a lot of time through there. And now the timer is just ticking down, but we're going to improve by, I think, maybe around half a second. And then blast the ERS until the line. Let's see what's going to be. Yep, half a second improvement here in Q2. That was quite nice. And we're the only driver out on track. So we secure our place in Q3 yet again. And a solid job from us. We are ahead of Verstappen. That is quite surprising. I am surprised, I have to say.
Understood. Stopping this lap.
But yeah, that is Q2 done for us. We are well and truly where we want to be once again amongst the big boys, where we need to be. Qualifying is over. No one is improving. No one is even out on track at the moment. So we have knocked... I think we knocked Lance Stroll out, maybe. Maybe we didn't, considering that we were in P10. So we might just have dropped Lance down to P10. But again, a solid lap time here in Q3. Now it's going to be interesting to see how much time the other drivers are going to find heading into Q3. And into the pits we go. There we go. Q2 done. And we finish in 5th. So that is a very solid qualifying. And I do have to say, I've exceeded expectations so far. I wasn't expecting to be fighting with the top 10. I was actually quite surprised that we even managed to out-qualify Oliver Behrman. But hopefully he can have a better race than he had qualifying. But here we go. That's it for Q2. And what's this going to be? There was a couple of drivers improving. Stroll didn't make it through, so Albon improved on his last attempt. Neither did Tsunoda. Wow, okay, that's very, very interesting. So both Albon and... was it Hamilton who improved as well? But Stroll and Tsunoda out. The reason why I'm mentioning both of them is because obviously Aston Martin, our closest competitor, but it's also surprising to see Tsunoda fall this early, I do have to say. But yeah, quite surprising. We only have one set of tires for this session, so we're gonna wait until as late as possible with going out. I'm gonna wait until there's like 3 minutes left, and then we're gonna give it a go.
Right, the car's ready. Let's get it out there.
So we can only impress. Whatever we need, whatever we do, just don't put the car into the wall. That is the only thing we should avoid. We come out, what, just behind Verstappen, I think. Whoa. There's a lot of traffic here in the pits. Alright. And Max currently on provisional pole. I think the only target that I'm really going to have here is going to be beating Alonso and Albon. So P8 is the target. in my opinion. Also what is probably going to be realistic. But anything else would obviously be a welcomed addition. There's a yellow flag, that's just for slow moving traffic. Nothing else really. So let's see what we can do here in Jeddah. If we can pull off another surprise. It has to be said though, the AI are not the strongest in qualifying, so they're always going to improve going into the race. I don't know why it is like that, but that is just how it is. So we're going to be careful here not to get too close to Max in front of us before starting this lap. We're going to be the last one to come around. Not a good start to the lap, but whatever. Let's give it everything we have. And heading into turn 1. Spot our braking zone. That was quite tidy. That was very nice, as a matter of fact. And so far, so good. Oh, a little bit lost there, unfortunately, but that could have been a little bit better, but it's no catastrophe. So far so good. And then this chicane, I always find this one especially difficult, but we managed to navigate it. Now it's just a question of keeping the pace. Ooh, can we keep it? We keep it on the track. What kind of lap time are we gonna get here? Everyone finishing up on their laps as well. And we are gonna come around the final corner at 1:27. I think that was from George Russell. Here we go. Where are we gonna finish? P5. Alright. Solid qualifying from us. And we have beaten expectations once again.
Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
So George Russell on pole position just ahead of Max Verstappen. And then it's the two McLarens in P3 and 4. Then we show up in P5, quite surprisingly. And then it is the second Mercedes of Andrea Kimi Antonelli. And then the two Ferraris headed by Charles Leclerc. And then it's Alonso and Albon rounding out the top 10. And quite a big gap between Hamilton in P8 and Fernando Alonso in P9. So, yeah, very solid qualifying there from us. Only 7.5 tenths down on Russell's pole position lap. Wowee! Another strong qualifying, and the upgrades are evidently working as intended, it would seem. So, very, very solid drive from us so far, at least. But now we get into the spicy part of the race weekend, and that is obviously the Grand Prix itself. And I'm looking so much forward to this one. Let's see. There's no expected rain, which is quite nice. That would just make this track even more unbearable than it already is if there was to be rain. But yeah, obviously night race. 2 races in a row now. And humidity a little bit high. Let's see. Don't think there's anything more to say. 25 laps around the Jeddah Corniche Street Circuit is what lies ahead of us. So let's see how this one goes. And this This one could be spicy, depending on how the race unfolds. We usually see some safety cars in real life here, and also during league races that take place here. So it's definitely something that we have to be aware of. And something we also have to be aware of is keeping our front wing in one piece. Otherwise, we can wave goodbye to any hope of any solid points here today. But let's see. Just awaiting what the game here. There we go. And there we have the
We're
beautiful
here today on the shores of the Red Sea in the lower Hejaz Mountains to visit one of the newest circuits in the Formula One calendar. Jeddah, home to what we all hope is going to be a thrilling Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Absolutely.
So let's take a look at a topographical map of the Jeddah Street circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong.
It's absolutely
let's hope
crazy.
We avoid any safety cars today.
But yeah, here we go. Here's the grid for today's Grand Prix.
After yesterday's exciting qualifying session.
So let's see. Any penalties, potentially?
George Russell will begin today's event in pole position. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Piastri, Norris, Iceman, and Antonelli, Leclerc, Hamilton, Alonso, and Alex Albon, Stroll, Tsunoda, Carlos Sainz, and Lawson, Bortoletto, Behrman, Isaac Hadjar, and Nico Hülkenberg. Gasly and Franco Colapinto rounds off the grid.
So Alpine at the back.
It's time to head down to the track. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes, delighted to say that we're joined today by Anthony Davidson. Okay, the start, so important. Tell us about how you ace a launch off the line.
The drivers these days, they practice, practice and practice. They have
there we are
with them
the
at
beautiful
the circuit
pink
where they can
Sakura
sit down
Haas
with the actual
livery.
steering wheel from the real car, and they've got lights
Maybe
that
the
they
last
react
time
to.
this season we're going to see it. Depends a little bit.
Tailored around the driver's hands, around their fingers, so they can have optimum position before they start. So there's so much thought and effort that goes into getting these cars off the line.
But here we go. P5 starting grid for us.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
And as expected, it is a two-stop strategy. We're starting on the mediums. As per usual, what I really was expecting. And then another set of mediums. I might swap those around, the hard tire stint and the mediums, depending on how the race start goes. That could benefit us. We have seen that happen before. And then, obviously, it's just about keeping our front nose clean. Rev out the car here. And for anyone just tuning in and wondering why we are qualified all the way up in P5 in this Haas, whether that is due to low AI difficulty, I can tell you that the start of the season we actually raced with 107% AI difficulty, and for this Grand Prix specifically, actually, I have raised the difficulty 1%, so it's 108 for today's race, and I do intend to keep that going forward. So I am as surprised as you guys are as to why we are currently going to start this Grand Prix in P5. That is quite remarkable, if I do have to say so myself. I wasn't expecting this. But yeah, we keep the good streak of races going, hopefully. We scored big points in Bahrain last time out. And hopefully we can repeat that here today in a starting position that is substantially more favorable than what we did in Bahrain. And who knows, I mean, we haven't yet seen any of the front-running drivers really have a technical difficulty with any engine components, so maybe now that we are a couple of races into the season, we'll start seeing those things happen. As for our own engine, well, we can't quite see that right now, but we'll get to it at one point. Spoke briefly about it in qualifying, so... But yeah. At the moment it seems fine. And we are just about to get ready for the race start here again. Once again. We are put in a favorable position. We have the outside line heading into turn 1, which is very, very nice. It gives you plenty of opportunity if you were to either miss your braking point completely or just overshoot it slightly. Gives you good opportunity to avoid. So let's line it up here. There we go.
Okay, incredible parking there. Nice one. That's going to give you the edge if you can get a good launch as the race starts.
So here we go.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch.
We've usually been quite good on race starts. Hopefully we can keep that trend going. But lights out and away we go here in Jeddah. It's not as good of a race start as I would have liked. We are on the outside here of Norris as he squeezes us to the inside. And the McLaren man, yeah, he's going to retain.
Okay, we're monitoring
P4.
somewhere on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
Oh no. That is not what I wanted to hear at the start of this one. So that specific engine wear that I was talking about, I mean, looks as if, or sounds, according to Mark, like we could be seeing trouble today. Oh dear, if that is true, it's not going to be a fun one. We just need to settle down, we need to do our best, see what we can get from this, see if we can drive around the problem.
That's a decent start, good job.
We're sticking with Norris so far, to be fair. Oh, need to keep my eyes on the road. Do have a tendency to make that mistake sometimes, unfortunately. What does the engine wear look like? Let's have a look. 57%. I mean, it shouldn't blow up. Knock on wood, obviously. But, oh man, that is always... That's like a ticking time bomb.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled.
We have the presence of Kimi Antonelli as we overshoot turn 1 massively there. But yeah, I have the presence of Kimi Antonelli to contend with here at the race start. So we're trying to stick with Lando Norris and the top 4. And I know from the free practice sessions that these tires are going to go off a cliff pretty quickly. So we need to be smooth on them. As I say that, I rub them up against the wall, which is not going to help us at all. Just burning a little bit of ERS here, trying to stick with Lando. Ooh, touched the wall there once again. Whoa!
There's a new strategy available on the MFD.
And we lose the car coming out of that corner.
Okay, copy that.
We're going to have to box for a new front wing, because this is not going to fly around Jeddah. Ah, that sucks. That really sucks. A small lapse in just, in our concentration and instantly paying the price. But that is what happens around this track, unfortunately, and we're going to have to make an early stop. So into the pits we come at the end of this tour here, and a new front wing is in order for us. So here we go, going on to another set of mediums, and now it's just going to be about
right, let's go, come on. That was a
trying to conserve the tyres as much as possible.
Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres.
Maybe hope for a safety car, that is all we can hope for. But let's see. And at the moment, we have plenty of free track as we have to warm up the tyres a little bit.
Okay, this isn't our true position. They haven't yet pitted and they're on a one-stopper. So don't waste time fighting because they should be coming in soon.
Alright. But here we go. Now we just have to settle down, make these tyres last maybe a little bit longer than what initially... Shit, that curb. Apologies. That curb, we have to stay off it. It's tried to kill us again this time around. And that is what happens with these curbs around here. They are dangerous and they will punish you. But yeah, not the way we would have liked to start this race, unfortunately. Now we just have plenty of free air in front of us to just settle down, get some laps hooked up, and then see what we're capable of. And maybe a safety car could come at the right time. That would definitely be taken with open arms. I can tell you that much. But yeah, this first sector is not my favorite at all. We are closing up to Gasly in front. So that is nice to see, obviously on new fresh tyres. I wouldn't expect anything else. And at the moment we're just hunting down the group in front of us. And then we can start making up spots that we have already lost at the start. But just consistent lap times is what we need at the moment. And then everything will come to us, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. So, tyres already going off a cliff at the moment.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
You say that, Mark, but the rear ride is already at 11%. That is quite substantial tyre wear, to say it politely. So we just have to get our head down.
Okay, mate. Right, we've got some clear track in front of us, so let's make best use of it and make the next lap a quick one. You got this.
Thank you very much. I will do my very best. Already feel the tires losing their edge. And that is really, really bad, considering we're only on lap 5. These are probably going to have to go around lap 10. And then we could swap over to the hard tires, maybe push them 15 laps. It's going to be difficult, but that is the plan. But it is going to be difficult, absolutely.
Nice work, you smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate. Okay, gap ahead.
And he's just not going to tell me the gap. Love it. But yeah, 12 seconds to Gasly in front at the moment. We're making steady progress. Oh, we could see there the edge of the tire is already gone. We're gonna push these tires so long as we can, and then we're gonna have to see what we can do about the hard tires. Let's check the tire wear. What do we say? 25% on the rear ride is crazy. But the tire wear is quite high here in Jeddah. But we're within 10 seconds now of Gasly. And they are running in a big train, as you can see on the minimap at the moment. Couple of drivers pitting. Hulkenberg started on the soft tires, so did Albon. That is insanity, if you ask me. But they are into the pits at the end of this one. So people starting to make their first stops. And we overtake them, as expected. But we're going to have to be wary of our tire wear. Just keep the car on the road at all cost. And then if we lose a little bit of time, it's okay. It's better to lose a bit of time and then make it to the checkered flag, instead of pushing as hard as possible and then ending up crashing in a couple of laps time. And I am expecting Albon and Hulkenberg to close up to us quite rapidly. But if we can use the Williams driver to maybe catch up, that would also be very beneficial to us. But at the moment, still posting decent lap times, I think, at least. I mean, I don't really know, because Mark is not giving me a lot of information, unfortunately. He's gone really quiet. Yeah, the tires are starting to drop off. We are at lap 8 now, so they just need to last a couple more laps. The longer we can keep them, the better. Whoa, we need to be careful with the curbs, otherwise our race is going to end prematurely. Oh, running over the curbs there as well. Albon is closing in. He's almost within DRS range now. Ooh, as we touched the wall there, a bit of a snap I couldn't turn out of. Did we damage our front wing there? I hope not. Doesn't look like it. So we escape with just a scare there. And Albon closing in now. We're still closing in on Gasly and Colapinto, so we're still doing decently. The tyres are definitely falling away now. And now Bortoletto's into the pits, so the mediums couldn't go any further than... Oof. And this is going to be a tough one for us. We might have to do a 3-stopper, you know. But I don't think we have the necessary medium tyre that I would want for a 3-stopper. Again, are we going to take the escape road here? Do we have another set of mediums? No, we don't. So this race has just gotten a lot more difficult than it needed to be. Albon is now on the back of us. Medium tires starting to fade heavily at the moment. Albon, is he going to attack us, or is he just going to sit behind to get the second DRS here? I think he might be. And we're not closing up as much to Gasly and Colapinto anymore. Our tyre wear is quite high, unfortunately. As Ollie is into the pits. Do we have some damage? Don't think so. And here comes Albon. And he goes past us, heading into turn 1. And we can't do anything about it, unfortunately. And now, next man behind us is Gabriel. That's not Bortoletto, that is Nico Hülkenberg. Oh, and yeah, tyre wear is really, really killing our momentum right now. We might just have to go for it. What are the tyre wear? What is the tyre wear like at the moment? It is quite high. It's 50% on the rear right. So that rear right is absolutely killing the momentum of these tyres at the moment. We might have to box early here. Oh, and just no turn-in at all.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
We're going to pit at the end of this one. We're so slow at the moment. And here comes Tsunoda. Sainz making it through as well. Whoa! What is happening here? Why did they brake so early? Don't think we have any damage. But yeah, we're pitting. The tyres are not working anymore. Oh, this is a catastrophe of a Grand Prix so far.
Okay, let's go now. Come on. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate.
2.4 seconds.
Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. You only have to stop once now. One stop left.
I mean, we could go back onto that used medium set that we started the race on. That is a possibility. I think we might do that, because we never really got to use that tyre set. Depending on how this stint pans out, that is the plan.
We're both on a 2-stopper here, but they still have one more stop to make. Let's see if you can get past, but don't overdo it, because they're going to be coming into the pit soon. Okay, mate, after that front wing damage, we've got to look after it now. Please protect the front wing. Come on.
Copy that. So right now, Bortoletto 15 seconds ahead of us. He is the next driver on a set of hard tyres. We are... Behrman is so far down. But he's on a set of mediums, so we should close up to him relatively quickly. And now the pit stop round is happening. It's so confusing. And what happened there? Oh, tyres might just not be up to temps yet.
Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 23.7 seconds.
Next man is Gasly. If we could just overtake a couple of drivers, that would be fine to recover our race. I'm not expecting points here today.
Tyre condition still looking good.
Ah, well, is it though? Is it really? Gasly is also having a horror race, it seems.
The car ahead of you's just fitted the hard tyres. Car ahead now on the hard compound.
Copy that. And he's pulling away at the moment. It seems. Maybe I'm just mistaken something here. Purple Sector 2. Colapinto into the pits. Oh, plenty of drivers into the pits now. So, a mixed bag here today. We're going to come out in traffic, or filter into traffic. Just behind Colapinto. If we could just catch the Argentinian, we could get some DRS and we could start working away at that gap in front of us. I would like that. So let's see if we can just catch up to him. We are very close indeed. We are within DRS range, it would seem. Here we go. That is lovely. Now we just need to stick with him, but that engine power loss is definitely hurting us, that is for sure. The loss of power is quite substantial right now.
Gap to your teammate ahead, 13.1 seconds.
Whoa. Big rotation there, Lawson into the pits. We're still stuck behind Colapinto. At the moment.
So your ERS is running a bit low. Look into changing your ERS mode in the MFD for a more conservative burn rate. Or you might want to try some lifting or gentle braking to recharge.
Mark again giving us a little bit of useless information. I am obviously trying to manage as well as I can. At the moment it's not too easy. But we are doing our best. I do feel like we're getting stuff done here. We're closer to Colapinto than we have been. So do we just pass him?
Hamilton's just put in the fastest lap of the race so far.
Yeah, why not? Surely. Around the outside. And he's going to get the DRS here now. We're going to send it on him. He does not leave much room. But we need to be clinical and get past him as quick as possible to try and catch up to the drivers in front of us. But yeah, that early mistake from us.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 4.4 seconds.
I'm working away at it, don't worry. And at the moment, doing okay. We've almost pulled the gap to Colapinto. So that is solid. We are closing in on Hadjar, I think. But this is a tough one.
Gasly's ahead of you. Time last lap, 1 minute 33.6. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 4.8 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. Nice work, you smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate.
A couple of drivers into the pits, and that promotes us into P16. Tyres are starting to... I can feel them now. At the moment, not really pulling the gap on Colapinto, unfortunately. We're very close though. So we're doing bits here. Ooh, into the wall there. Hopefully no damage. Doesn't look like it. I think we might have dropped Colapinto on this lap. Ooh, again into the wall. We need to be more careful. Engine power is really letting us down. At the moment we're not recharging as much as I would like either, which is also very annoying.
We're approaching the pit window.
Oh, Hamilton is out of the race. So Hamilton having an engine failure, I think. That's going to promote us up a position. We're into P13 as a result of it. I mean, if we can just keep going. Whoa, almost into the wall there. What is the tyre wear looking like? It's manageable at the moment.
Okay, mate. Colapinto behind you. We want to keep them behind, please. It's critical for our race.
Absolutely. I'm going to do my very best. At the moment, I think Behrman is actually into the points. I think he might actually be in the points at the moment. Let's hear our engineer. Where is the... Oh, it doesn't show. Whoa, whoops. Oh well. And Ollie into the pits. Well, that was the end of that.
Ollie's in the pits. Ollie in the pits now.
Unfortunately. There's a couple... Sonoda as well. Alright. So might we be looking at points here today? Anyway, or a point. Gasly at the moment ahead of us. 4.3 seconds. If we could close him down, there could be a point up for grabs here. That would be very lovely considering our little silly mistake at the beginning of the race. So 4.2 seconds at the moment. Is what we have to close down. Let's see. Don't think he's stopping again. Does he have the DRS on the car in front? Maybe. That engine wear really letting me down right now.
Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
I am aware, Mark, don't worry. There's a big train behind us that we are heading.
Push now, we're boxing this lap.
No, we're not. We're not boxing. We are trying to complete this very amputated two-stop strategy here and see if we can scrap a point away from it. It's going to be very difficult, but we're going to give it our best shot. Because if we could come away with a point here, that could be massive. And now we can see Gasly in front of us. But you can see the tires are starting to give way. Slowly but surely. But surely Gasly would also start to feel the tire wear. Surely. 3.8 seconds.
Don't forget, box this lap.
Oh, we're not boxing. We're not boxing. Bit of battling going on behind us. Hulkenberg into P12. So they are scrapping away as well. Tires are really feeling worn out at the moment. Basically tiptoeing at the moment around the circuit, because I feel like if I'm putting any pressure on the tires, we could spin out. Colapinto ahead of Hulkenberg again. So those two are fighting. That's going to help us to relax a little bit, maybe. We're not closing down Gasly as fast as I would have liked, unfortunately. If him and Hadjar could just start battling, but they're obviously separated by 5.5 seconds, I think, maybe. Not quite sure. 3.6 seconds. We're closing him down
in this
slowly.
lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
But we're not closing him down fast enough, unfortunately. I could take another tour. Lap 20. These tyres are going to be on the brink of destruction once we're done with them. 3.5, we're closing down a 10th-ish per lap. Ooh, big cloud over the curb there. Not ideal at this stage of the race. Yeah, we can almost see Gasly now.
3.4 seconds.
And it's just a question of, can we do enough damage to Gasly's lead at the moment over us? Let's burn some ERS here. See what we can do. Oh, we touched the wall there. Ooh, almost lost it. We're close to being within 3 seconds now. But that touch of the wall there set us back. Really having to beat tiptoeing at the moment. Look at that left rear. That is crazy.
Okay, nice work. Really good job with that target, mate.
We are closing it. Look at this. We're closing in on him. We would absolutely have had the pace for points here today. I think that is evident. Had we not made that silly mistake at the beginning of the Grand Prix. Fight could still be on for a singular point here. We've closed up pretty well to Gasly on this lap. Let's get the chicane right. We almost closed up a second on this lap. We're running out of laps, but we're coming towards him now. We're getting close to the Alpine. But our tires are also suffering at the moment. If we can have another similar lap, we could be within striking distance.
The car in front.
Come the end of this lap. Oh, but we have a bad turn 1. You can see Gasly there in front of us. The tires are really close to giving away at the moment. Oh, touch of the wall there. Oh, we have to extend the track a little bit. And now we just need to have a massive second sector. Then we should maybe have a shot at Gasly on the last lap, maybe, hopefully. This one is going to be close, I can tell you that much. 2 seconds is the gap. Now we burn a lot of ERS here. And we get the chicane right. Oh, no, we didn't. I have to take across the escape road there. Did we knock the front wing? No. So we survive. Just about. But so is Gasly, to be fair. And Carlos Sainz with fastest lap is showing up as well. Penultimate lap here in Jeddah. There is a chance of a point here today. But the tires will be absolutely bloodshot at the moment. So they are not gonna like life. They might be too done to be able to be used. Oh, look at this. Loss of grip. Oh yeah. And Gasly has pulled a bit of a gap here. What is the tyre wear looking like? And look at that left rear, 69% at the moment. It's going to be close to puncture territory once we come to the final lap. But we've done bits to try and rescue this race. It's not quite worked out, unfortunately.
Okay, keep the car ahead under pressure. They might make a mistake. Gap is only 2 seconds now.
That is true. We're going to keep the pressure on till the very last second. You can see Gasly there, we close back in underneath the 2 second margin. The tyres are absolutely dead. And Hulkenberg is also closing in from behind.
Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap.
Final lap of the Grand Prix. Car is very, very slidey. Let's see. What can we do? Can we put any pressure on Pierre Gasly? Or are we going to have to settle for P11? Let's see what we can do. Hulkenberg is also going to be very close. Yeah, the tyres are just not there. I can't get onto the throttle as quickly as I want out of the corners. We have taken these tyres through the ring here today, and they are absolutely done. But we're gonna finish in P11 at the end of this one. Unfortunately, that mistake at the start of the race ended up costing a lot more than I initially thought. The tyre wear around here, whoa, as we almost slide into the last corner there. But yeah, there we go. That's the end of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. No points today, unfortunately, from a very solid starting position.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
But that is purely down to our own lack of skill, unfortunately. Nico Hulkenberg, with driver of the day, finishes just behind us in P12. And what a disappointment.
From Oscar Piastri, who takes the checkered flag.
What a disappointment this race was.
It was a joy to watch today, honestly, because the driver was clearly able to read the conditions well on track, to use the information properly from the team, and usually come up with the right solution at the right time.
So Oscar Piastri wins yet another race in this season.
It has been a day of drama, so much to unpack.
I think maybe,
but first of all, the rewards.
Yeah, look at that.
Top three.
George Russell finishes on the podium together with Verstappen.
Today, Oscar Piastri.
So Norris not having the best of races out here in Saudi Arabia. And I think maybe Piastri is just extending his championship lead. I do think he is the championship leader at the moment. And the victory here today in Jeddah definitely not going to do any harm in regards to his title challenge. That is for sure. But let's see.
And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport.
Yeah, look at that.
But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
So many drivers here today who unfortunately had a very disappointing race, not only ourselves. But yeah, Lando Norris started P4, finished P5. Not very good from him either. Tsunoda with a poor showing once again, finishing outside the points. And yeah, Lewis Hamilton, very unfortunate to retire midway through the race. I do have to say, I'm quite surprised, especially about Pierre Gasly, how he wasn't considered driver of the day. He started P19 and he ended up scoring 1 point for Alpine, which I do think is going to help them quite nicely in trying to keep the pressure on Aston Martin, who have both drivers in the top 10 this time around. And Hadjar as well. He made up 10 positions. So he made up even more spots than Nico Hulkenberg and Pierre Gasly. So I have no idea how either of them are not considered driver of the day. But here we go. We complete the race nonetheless. And this one was a tough one, unfortunately. We do increase our overall ratings, so that is quite nice. And in terms of the inter-team rivalry, we're still on top of Oliver Behrman. As for the development, it's looking quite nicely. It's looking quite nice at the moment. So we still see some progress in our career, despite not picking up any points, which is, I mean, it is what it is. At least we showed that we are capable of pulling a difficult strategy off. And look at this, we have a secret meeting. So let's go and see what that's all about. Ooh, Aston Martin wanted to know if we are up for talks. Let's see. At the moment, they're sitting in 8th. They have 11 Constructors' Championship points. And I suppose it is to replace Lance Stroll, but we're going to decline the talks. We are quite happy here at Haas.
Hey. me again. Been chatting with some of the team higher-ups, and they're delighted with the loyalty you're showing to the team and the project.
Thank you.
Now's a good time to ask for a bonus. Or a boat. Or whatever it is you people get up to out of the car.
True. Anyway, speaking of getting up to something out of the car, let's purchase some R&D upgrades. We could use a little bit here, and we are looking at a secondary wing flaps adjustment or improvement. It's going to be a minor upgrade. It's going to come just before Imola if everything goes according to plan, which would be very nicely indeed. Let's see. There's not really anything else we can purchase. But speaking of upgrades, we have a whole slew of upgrades scheduled here. 4 upgrades. Let's see if any of them come through. We're crossing our fingers. No! What about here? Yes! Let's go. Ah! That sucks. So 2 of the upgrades, unfortunately, not making it through. And it's both of the upgrades regarding the chassis, which is... Oh, that sucks, man. It sucks so badly. What about the powertrain? Is there anything we can upgrade here? Doesn't look like it. And then we have... Let's see. Oh, a supplier upgrade has arrived. So this is not an upgrade we have purchased. This is a purchase that Ferrari has actually made that is going to benefit us. So that is very, very nice indeed. Do we have enough? We do just about have enough to purchase or try to repurchase the 2 upgrades that failed. But look at that, we are still closing up to Aston Martin. We're still behind. But now Ferrari is currently 4th in the R&D development race. McLaren on top, Red Bull taking a big step ahead of this weekend. Let's have a look here. Yeah, it's very close. It's very, very close. This is nice to see. And look at all of the upgrades we have planned here. All of them obviously minor upgrades, but I mean, many minor upgrades could also end up being really, really good. And they are unfortunately not going to be in time for this race, which is round 6 of the championship, the first of 3 Grand Prix hosted on American soil, and thus we will be running a special livery for this occasion. So very much looking forward to that, the first of our home Grand Prix, and definitely something to look forward to. I do have to say though, again, we are on a bit of a strange part of the season, unfortunately. The 3 Grand Prix we have in a row here, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia and Miami. Not my favorite tracks, but we're going to have to try and do the best we can. And then obviously round 7 is going to be really, really fun. It's going to be at Imola, but before that we have this, Miami. And yeah, definitely do look forward to that. And we're going to bring some upgrades, obviously, and we're also going to install some new engine components for this specific weekend to perform as best as possible. So I am very much looking forward to that. And if you are as well, I would highly suggest that you tune in next time we go live. And in order to know when that is, I would highly encourage you to both subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thus, you will receive notifications whenever I go live. And while you are down there, I would also urge you to like the live stream if you enjoyed today's racing, despite us not scoring points, because it does show that you are enjoying the content, which I very much appreciate. But with that being said, I think we're going to leave things here. Despite not scoring points, as I said, it still was an enjoyable race, and hopefully we can strike back here in Miami and get our season back on the road. So make sure you tune in, and I want to wish everyone a blessed day, And until we see each other again, have a good one.